Hello everyone and welcome to the much awaited settings video. We're going to be reviewing the settings that I use to play. I'm going to be showing all the settings that I use, all the hotkeys that I use. I mean, not all of them, but most of them, because I use most of the default keys. And I'm also going to be showing you how to download and set up your mods. If you want to play with mods, like the ones that I use here, I'm going to show you where to get them and how to use them. So let's start with the settings. In the graphics, I put everything on the maximum. As you can see here, I set everything, turn on everything, even on the refresh rate. The aspect ratio is basically the usual. I know that some of you might have extra settings. For example, I believe this can be set up to a higher value. I'm not sure, but these are the values. You can pause here and see what each of these does. If you want a rundown on what each of these things do, I'm going to be honest, most of them I don't know what they actually do, but I do know that this one's about the trees. You can turn this off if you don't want the trees to be moving a lot. The reflections are usually the things on the water. I would say that if you want to increase performance without having everything turned on, I would say turn off, like lower the water quality, lower the shadow quality, and turn off dynamic lights. Those are the first ones that I turn off when my PC was not doing very well. I turned those off because I really like the effects of the game and I didn't want to lose that. Texture size has to be on maximum value. You can also turn off the display high skybox if you want. This is like just a minimal thing. I like to leave it turned on because I can, but if your PC is not that great, you can turn this off as well. Moving on to sound. On the sound, as you can see here, I have unit reactions turned on now, but I increased the delay to the maximum timer. So that means you're going to be hearing the hero, but it's going to take up to 15 seconds for you to hear it again. I like this because you can always hear the taunts. And I believe the cooldowns and the low mana voice things, you can also hear that. I like leaving the master volume quite low. When I'm recording videos, I like my voice to be heard instead of the game. But I did increase this. This was on 20 before, it's now on 30. So you might see some difference on the future video. Everything is set up to normal as well. The playback driver, the disabling all sounds, basically muting the entire game. If you want to know, you can actually press Ctrl S whenever, like either here or in game, so that you can mute all the sounds in the game. That's usually useful when someone is spamming an ability to make the song a lot of noise and being really annoying. You press Ctrl S, you cannot hear anything, and that's very good. This is about the dampening of the sound. Whenever you press your push to talk button to say something, or whenever you're hearing someone say something, this is how much the game sounds are lowered for you to listen to the mic voices. You can also disable everything from the voices by pressing this. It's up to you what the values you want to see on this. I usually leave this on 40, but you can increase, you can even put on 100%. You can completely mute the game whenever you are listening to anyone saying anything on the mic. And these are the push to talk buttons that I use. I use the default T and Y for the lane and for the button. If you want to know, the lane talk button, it works like this. I don't know if you remember, but when you are in the lane and you use the hero missing, it says enemy hero missing from the lane. So if I'm bot lane, it says hero missing from the bot lane. If you are in jungle, it only says hero missing. So these divisions of laning are the ones that use this lane talk. So for example, if two heroes are on the same lane, instead of pushing T, I push Y, because then I will only speak with my lane partner, the person who is also in the lane. But you have to be careful, because if that person is, for example, pulling a camp, he's in the jungle, he's not in the lane anymore. So if you press Y, he's not gonna listen to you. That's the one thing that you have to worry about. And the mentor chat, I like to leave on U, which is the next letter on the keyboard. That's a personal thing of me. So going to interface. From interface, you can see I use the Sentinel game overlay. Razor is also pretty neat. The classic one is the one from the old game from many years ago. It's completely just for your option here. These are the gameplay options that I have. I always show health bars, obviously. The full health bars is basically whenever the game is... I can show this in game actually. Okay, so I spawned some creeps here. As you can see, the health bars are hidden until they are hit. So this is also something that you can try if you want. But I like leaving the health bars on. But if you can try this, right? You can see here, they're always shown. If I turn this on, if the health bar is full, it doesn't show up unless you hover over it. It doesn't work on the heroes though. As you can see, the heroes always show the health bars, no matter if you're full or not. This is only for creeps. So these are the other options. Show the XP numbers, always show hero selection circles. Minimap right click is something interesting. For example, if I click on the minimap, if I right click here, my hero is gonna move there. You can actually turn that off because it can be sometimes annoying when you are moving so quickly and then you want to click here, but you end up clicking here. So your hero moves all the way over there. That can happen sometimes. Limiting minimap pings. This is for those people who like to spam a lot. You can turn this on and off. It's up to you. Mute minimap ping from voice muted allies. For example, if you ignore someone, if you mute the chat, the voice chat from someone, you don't listen to minimaps anymore. You can actually turn this off to listen to the pings, but not listen to the voice. It's up to you as well. Center camera or respawn, I leave this up. Enable double activate abilities. This is when you double click something to press it on yourself. Buy components confirmation, I always leave this off because whenever I want to buy all the components, I just right click the item. Move to spawn on disconnect, I leave this on. It is also very important for you to know if you want to leave this on or not. I left it off for quite a few times, but this is usually good because if you disconnect, you're moving straight to base. If you turn this off, whenever you disconnect, your hero is going to stay wherever he is. This is good whenever you are in the lane, but this is bad if you are in a dangerous position and then you don't move to spawn on disconnect, you might end up dying. So I do like to leave this on. Tower range indicator is quite obvious. It's I can show you here. So this is the tower range, as you can see here. If I turn this off, you don't see the tower range. So it is up to you. I like leaving this on because I can see exactly where the tower is attacking. It is very important for me. It is up to you if you want to see this or not. So moving on forward, this is the profanity filter. Is that thing where whenever you say a profanity, it gets those little stars. I don't know the name of that. As you can see, this is the profanity filter if you do not want to see that. Chat sounds, short format. Chat sounds is that sound, right? For example, you can hear this. This is the chat sound. If I turn this off, it doesn't say any sound. This is a very interesting part, right? Whenever you see the message, you can see there's the hero icon, there's my name, there's the team, and there's the, you can even add the name of the hero. So for example, if I turn this on, the hero names, you can see here it shows Magebane. I actually like to have that off. It is up to you as well. You can turn off the hero icons as well, it's up to you. So this is the friends and clans, it's all about this page here, but you have to close the game and reopen to see the changes. This is the custom name colors, as you can see here, my friends list, they all have their own colors. So if I turn this off, they're all going to be the same color. The disabling the offline group basically leaves your friends in the same list. Sort by in-game status, the same thing. Why am I here? I don't know, it's a lot of noise. There's the display notification duration and the playing the notification sounds. This is the notifications part. It's those things that show up when you are in the game, the messages. You can pause here to see what I use, but this is not usually very important, right? So I'm just gonna skim through this and go to the very important part, the assistance part. The most important part of the game, the one that's most... The reason why many people wanted to see the settings is because of this part. So I'm going to show you very thoroughly each one of the settings. Disabling auto aggro is basically like this. What's auto aggro? For example, if I go here, it auto aggros. You can see that, right? So disabling auto aggro, what happens? If I go here, I do not attack. I only attack if I click on the hero. Why is this good? Sometimes you are trying to juke a hero and you're using like direct pathing, and then you go here and then you see the hero but you don't want to attack him. It works better with when you are in a ranged hero, but if you don't want to attack like that, you just want to move that and you want to stay still, you can just do that. If you want to leave this off, if you want to enable the auto aggro because it helps you farm or it helps you attack a hero that is trying to juke you, what do? You press H, which is hold position. Holding position, you basically do not attack unless you do another action. So for example, auto aggro is like this. I'm auto aggroing, right? But if I press H, I do not attack. It holds position. That's the default key for the H. I believe it's the same thing for everyone, so you can try that when you play the game next. Player specific colors. What is this? When you are in the game, I can actually show this in a replay. So this is the replay of a game from the last game of the Road to 1900 series, and as you can see here on the minimap, everybody not only on the minimap but also in the game, everybody has his own colors, right? I'm the brown player, this guy is the pink, it looks more or less like pink. If I go here, and if I turn this off, look what happens. All the enemies are red, all the allies are green. Not only on the map, on the minimap, but also in the game. Like, everybody has the green aura, as you can see here. It is also for you to understand, like, if you are new to the game, you might want to leave this like this. Because it's a lot easier to see if the enemies are, if the hero is an enemy or if the hero is an ally. What also do I suggest? I also suggest that if you leave this off, for example, if you leave the player colors, you can also try using the other color of the health bars. So for example, for the health bars, I'm going to show this later, I use the solid red green, but the standard gradient is also pretty fun. The issue is that the enemies also have the green, as you can see here. It starts green, and as it gets lower, it goes from to yellow to red and that kind of stuff. But as you can see here, it can be very tricky to see if something is an ally or an enemy. So what do I like to do? If I turn this color, I go and use the green and red.
One of your structures is under attack.
As you can see here, it is quite easy to see what's an ally and what's an enemy. I might actually try this because I haven't tried this setting like a lot. I have tried this setting before, but it has been a long time. I kind of want to try this. It also helps, like, when the health bars are superposed on each other, you can actually see which creep is actually low. As you can see here. Right click deny. What is right click deny? Basically, for example, here on this creep, you can see here, if I right click on it, it's going to force deny it. If you turn this off, if you right click a creep, you are only going to walk towards it. For you to deny a creep with that option turned off, you have to press A, which is attack, and then attack the creep. So I love having this right click deny on. It helps me a lot. The only disadvantage is I don't think this is intentional, but there is a bug where if you are full inventory and you see the token of life from the Kongor and you right click it with a full inventory, you are going to deny it. And there are many instances where I denied token because I right clicked on it with a full inventory. So you have to watch out for that. If you don't want to worry about it, you turn this off and then you only press A to deny the creep. It's the same thing. The minimap portrait, it's this thing here. So if I click here, you can see that you change the color. So if I change that to player specific color, you're going to see player specific colors here. So it is also up to you. As you can see, the heroes are still green, the allied heroes are still green, the enemies are still red, you can see here. But on the minimap, they show on a different color. Okay, so I just checked in game and I saw that the disadvantage that you have for not using the player specific colors is that the couriers are the same color, as you can see here. So it can be a little tricky to know which one is your courier. So if you want to know that, you just do that, and then you have the player specific colors, right? Every player is now its own specific color. So you can actually see this is the brown courier, which was mine, and this is the green courier, which is the cheapest one. So you can do that. Showing gold number, showing experience range. What's the experience range? So I'm going to show you. It's easier to show in the lane. So whenever you are in the lane, you can see here there's a small purple thing. This purple thing here on the side of the health bar, this is the experience. So creeps outside of it, they do not show the purple thing, and whenever they get on the experience range, as you can see here, if I go forward a little bit, you see the purple thing shows up, and that's when you get the experience from the creep. So that's very important if you want to be close to a lane but you want to leave the other player getting full experience. You move out so you don't see the purple thing on the side of the purple diamond on the side of the health bar, so you're not gonna steal experience for that player. Safe teleport. Safe teleport is an option that I plead to you guys to turn this on. What is safe teleport? Safe teleport means whenever you are teleporting, if you right click on the map by accident, you are not going to cancel your teleport. And I have this on, and I can show you. So here I am in a practice game, and I can show you if I TP here, and if I right click, you can see save channel prevented action. So you might ask, what if I do want to cancel my TP? Oh, there you go. What if I do want to cancel my TP? You still have the option for that. If I TP here and I want to cancel it, I press S. It still cancels the TP. I can also do it with the H. If I TP, press H, also cancels the TP. So the only thing that it does is that it helps on not mistakenly canceling your TP. And as you can see here, if I use a TP and if I use the shift, it still works. And I'm still gonna move. So you can see here, it still moves. So safe teleport is one of the best options that they introduced. I highly recommend everyone to turn this on. What about auto select summonings? What is this? This is the auto select summonings. For example, if I have a Geometric Bane, so as you can see here, I have Geometric Bane. If I press it, I'm going to summon illusions, but only my main hero is selected. If I want to select my illusions, I have to do this. This can be good if you are trying to juke. If I'm trying to juke someone, what do I usually do? I usually Geos and send my illusion walking, like that's the real one, and that can help you juke someone. So that's an option for you. What's auto select summonings? Whenever you press the key, so let's see here. If I press the geometers, I automatically select all of the illusions. This can be good. You can try it to see if you like it, but I personally enjoy more the. I just noticed that why are these green and brown? I have no clue. I do like to have this auto select summonings turned off. Showing the ground sprites is the thing in the bottom. As you can see here, I have a more or less, it's very dim, right? But you can see it's a little blue thing over here. If I turn this off, there's nothing under me anymore. So it is also up to you. I like seeing the glow. It's a personal thing. You can turn this off. It's up to you. The detailed ability tooltips. What is this? Whenever you hover your ability, you see it's a very short summary of what the ability does, right? But if you turn this on, you actually don't see under here. You see it on the side, and it shows a much more detailed version of that ability description. Usually these ability tooltips is better if you don't know what the ability does. So for example, what does the staff effect of the absolute zero does? How much damage does it deal? How many ticks of damage it happens? It shows everything here. Every 0.1 seconds, 24 pulses, up to 40 superior magic damage, decreasing based on the distance. If you use this simple version, you don't see that. You only see, oh, it's this amount of damage up to that amount of damage. Staff makes that. It's very simple, okay? Selection outlines, it's basically this. So for example, if I have the crypts here, I'm going to select the crypts, and you can see the outlines of the crypts, right? So this is the selection outlines. If I turn this off, you can see even though they are selected, you basically cannot tell what is selected. You can only see the little thing on the floor. Hover outlines. The hover outlines is basically whenever you hover over a unit, you can see the outlines of it.
One of your
if it's off,
structures is under
it's like
attack.
that. If you turn it on, you see the hover, as you can see here. Usually you turn these two off whenever you are trying to record a video, because you don't want to basically have the cursor of the mouse hovering in unit you really don't want to show. So if you are recording, you turn those one off. If you're not, you leave those on. And of course the self-hero outline. I personally don't like the self-hero outline, but it's basically like this. You can see my hero is here. If I turn this on, you can see an outline of a white outline over my hero, right? So I personally don't like it. It feels a little ugly to me, but it's usually useful whenever you are in a very clustered team fight and you want to see where your hero is. It can help you a little bit. So what is the debuff pop-up text and the debuff pop-up icon? It's basically like this. Whenever you get a debuff, you see those slowed. That's the debuff pop-up text. So cast range indicators is basically this thing over here. It's pretty obvious. But the important one is the cast materials persisting. How does this work? So for example, whenever this is yellow, you are out of range to cast it. So if you click here, it's going to leave a gray area to see where you're going to cast the ability. It can be quite useful as well. For example, I can even cancel it. The damage pop-up, it's pretty obvious, is these little numbers that go up here. 54, that's the damage pop-up. And of course the draw minimap path. So for example, if I go all the way over there, this little white line is the draw minimap path. Let's go now to health bars. The health bars are very important. They are pretty much quality of life, right? So let's talk about the health bars of the heroes. I already showed you the bar colors. I like the standard gradient. There's the solid red and green. So for example, mine is always yellow, but the allies is always green. The enemies is always red. There is also the solid yellow or blue. Allies always yellow, enemies always blue. The units you control are green. It's also a pretty neat one. I actually could try this one because it looks very cool, very different. But I do like the standard gradient. I haven't played with standard gradient in a long time. I'm gonna be using it now for my one, just to see how it goes, right? It is a very interesting, it's pretty much quality of life, right? Wherever you feel like you like the most, you just use that. The large hero bars, so as you can see here, the hero bars are like this. If you turn this off, this is what they look like. I usually like to leave this on because I want the health to be a lot bigger than the mana. So I can actually notice how low a hero is based more on the health than on the mana. It's like a visual, a psychological thing. The health pips are basically these little things on the health. As you can see here, there are a very thin one over here, and then there's a much bigger one here, right? So if I turn this off, there's nothing. It's only a flat line. I love these health tips because it can actually show me, without me clicking on the hero, how much health it has. So for example here, I don't even have to look down here to see that I have 1800 something HP. Same as here, this liter, I haven't clicked on it, but I can see it has 1200, 400, almost 1600 HP without clicking on the hero. And if I click on it, you can see 1550. So the pips are very important, and you can actually set that up. So if you go here, you can actually see that you choose the health per pip and the health per sub pip. The pip is the big one, this larger one.
Structures is under attack.
And the sub pip are the smaller one. Okay, and I just checked it. I don't know why, but my health per pips doesn't seem to be working. Maybe I have to leave the game and then join the game again. I do know that it worked like a few months ago. You can give it a try and try values that you like if you want. I like to leave it on 1200 just because I'm already used to these values. So I'm going to leave them in this. Okay, so going to the transparent grip bars. So as you can see here, the grip bars are always shown. But if you don't want to see this many bars, you can just turn on the transparent ones, and you will see like they're gonna be a little bit dim, and as they get lower, they're gonna be showing up more. As you can see here, it's good for less hitting, but I personally prefer to see the non-transparent ones. I prefer to see the normal ones. Also, these transparent ones show a lot better when it's solid green red. As you can see here, solid green red, they work a lot better for less hitting. And instead of gradient, it doesn't work so well. It gets a little bit buggy. So if you want to try the transparent grip bars, I would say try the solid green bar colors. And of course, the name over the health bar. Here, as you can see, it's showing Kimi. I can change it to hero name, so it shows Miscellaneous leader, or nothing at all if we want. So it's also up to you. I like leaving the player name. Let's go to the buffs. What about the buffs? The buffs are this. So as you can see here, they show the decimal things. They are blinking. Every single thing you can set up as much as you want. I can completely remove the duration bar. I can show the timer or not. I can use the whole overhead timer or not. As you can see here, the timer can be in the spell if I want. The popping, so for example, if you just got the new debuff, it's going to pop. So let's put it here. As you can see, it pops and then it goes there, right? So I don't like that many popping, so I will leave this off. The passive buffs can pop or not as well. So if you leave this popping, you can choose if you want to see the passive buffs getting popped as well. The decimal timer is also up to you. I love seeing the decimal timer. And then blinking, if the spell is ending, you see it blinking like you saw there. I also love to leave this on. And let's go to Miscellaneous. This is the one thing, these are the things that most people don't see because they just don't get to this part of the interface options. And many of your questions might be answered here. So what's avatar portraits? So avatar portraits is whenever you are in the game picking phase, and I can show you this. Let's go to the game line. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm on the replay of the game that I showed you now, the game from the Road to 1900. And as you can see, I can see the hero, and I can see what avatar he's playing. But if I don't want to see the avatar, if I want to see only the hero, I can actually turn this off, and you see all the heroes only, you don't see the avatar. So the main interface, as you can see here, I use the main interface for my game. So this is the new interface. If you want to use the old interface for the game, the one from back in the day, like 10 years ago, you can just turn this one off. The FPS and ping is that thing that you see on the game as well. The background effects is basically when you log in, log out. This thing here, as you can see, I like to see it static, but if I want to see the animation, I can turn that on. There's also the classic login if you want. There's the shop interface. This shop interface, like the old shop interface, is really old. It's like from before I started playing. So I think Dusty likes to use this one, I'm not sure. The banjo quit sound. The banjo quit sound is whenever you quit HoN. I'm going to show you, I have to show you. This is the banjo quit sound. It's actually so that brings such nostalgia because I used to have it on. I'm gonna leave it on now. The switch to hidden hero is basically when you are playing with the test. If the hero goes on fog of war and it's a hero you can control but it's from the enemy team, so you cannot see it anymore. It can switch or not to that, so this is the option to fix that particular thing. The only show custom teleport to allies is basically if you have a different teleport, you kind of maybe don't want to show that it's you teleporting, you want to hide that information from them. So you turn this on, and then only your allies are going to see different teleports. Your enemies will not see them. And even though I have the mod that you can see the name of the teleport, I'm going to talk about the mods later, the mod does not work for the enemies. It only works for allies, so this mod is not illegal in any way. Talking about controls, so the controls, there are way too many control options, so I'm only going to show you the ones that I changed, that are the ones that are important. First one that I have to talk about is the consumables. I switched these ones because I like having the one on the left on the upside and the one on the right on the downside. So R is the one on the left, F is the one on the right. It is also up to you because it works with my hand. It's a little bit more intuitive for me. So I changed these ones. You can try it as well to see if you like them. The other one that I changed was, there it is, direct pathing. Usually you don't see anything here, but this is a very important one. What is direct pathing, you might be asking? I'm going to show you in game. Okay, so what is direct pathing? Direct pathing is whenever you try to move to somewhere, the hero is going to try to find the fastest path to go to that way. So if I click here, it's going to make this path, as you can see. It's quite obvious, it's how the game works, but sometimes you do not want to follow that path. Sometimes you want to go straight to a place. So for example, if I want to cast Demon Hands on this side, if I do this, my hero is going to turn the other way. Like as you can see here, it's going to turn left. I want to go here. How do I place a Demon Hand here? That's why I use the direct pathing. So basically, I use the direct pathing, I use it in the spacebar, so I'm pressing the spacebar, I click here, and as you can see, my hero is going to move towards that direction. It ignores obstacles. As you can see here, I'm facing a tree, so I cannot move that way, but it's still trying to go that way. So how does it work? Basically I do this, and then I press the Demon Hand. And as you can see, the Demon Hand will always go in the direction that I want. Of course, you have to be a little careful because you have to watch out for the turn speed of the hero. So for example, if the hero is facing that way, if I click here with direct pathing and I immediately use the Demon Hand, it's not going to cast there because it's still turning. So let's show. See? I click there, I press the Demon Hand, but it casts the demon hand over here. So that's why you have to be careful with the turn speed. So if I go here and I wait a little bit now it works. Let's try it again, a little bit faster now. So that's what you have to watch out for. When you are playing with direct pathing, you have to remember there's turn speed, so you watch out for that. But direct pathing can be very useful. What else can you use direct pathing for? You can also use it for juking. So for example, if you walk over here, you can see that it's going to find a path, right? So if I go here, it's going to find a path. If I want to go here, it's going to find a path. But something that many people do in the high level is that you can actually walk even closer and you can walk between trees that the path is not going to find a way. What do you mean? I'm going to show you a spot that I know. So this is the spot that I know. So here, as you can see, here you have the trees. You can never go through these trees using the normal pathing. It's always going to try to go around. But sometimes you want to go through here. Some people even ask, oh, can you cut this tree so I can go through here? You actually do not have to cut this tree, and I'm going to show you how. If you use direct pathing, this is the spot where you can actually go through. Even though you technically don't have a lot of space there, some trees are far enough apart that you can actually do that. And that's how many people juke in the game. So as you can see, you can do the other way as well. Another spot is the suicide spot. So I'm going to show you here. In this spot over here, these trees, it's impossible to get to them using the normal pathing. So as you can see, I cannot get there using the normal pathing. I'm always going to be trying, but I'm always going to be stuck here. But if you use direct pathing, you can actually get in here. You just move around, you keep trying many ways, and now I'm in here. And you cannot get in here unless you also know how to use direct pathing. So that's how many people get outskilled in the game. I personally don't like this kind of juking using the trees, but it's something that I just had to learn about because many people on the high level use that. And if you don't know, you're just gonna get juked multiple times. So
anything nice over there?
It is a very good knowledge of the game. It's using the mechanics of the game. It's different from straight up like cliff walking, right? Because there are some cliff walks, I don't know where they are right now, and that's actually illegal, so you have to watch out for that. That's considered cheating, and you might get suspended if you use that. But there are some cliffs, I don't know where, I actually don't pay attention to what these cliffs are, that you can actually use direct pathing to go over the cliff. And that is the one that is illegal. They do suspend for cheating for that. Do not use that. However, on the trees, it's free for you. You just do that. You juke people. You actually go to positions. It is completely legal. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it for the controls, for the options. Now let's talk about the mods. So, first things first, let's talk about how do you set up the mods. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you step by step on how you should set up your mods. First thing you have to do is go to the modification channel in the Project Congo Discord server. So you go to this channel, the modifications, you go to pinned messages, and you are going to see these are the pinned messages that we have. You basically have to download this version of the HoNModManager. Once you do download the HoNModManager, you can open it, and then you're going to be met with this window. As you can see here, I already have a lot of mods, some of them turned off. You basically have to set up your folder, and here you can select the home path to the folder that's where you're going to put the mods. So where do you download the mods? Where did I get all these mods? So I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to access them, but basically this is the website. So basically it's a Trello.com website, and as you can see here, these are all the mods that you have in the game. There are many mods. You can choose whatever you want. Whenever you see these green bars, it's usually because the mod is working well. When it's the other colors, you can see what's happening, right? Works untested, works with issues, obsolete, frozen, and all this the kind of stuff. So as you can see, you just go through here and you can already see one of the mods that I use, Lobby, Quick Stats, Tooltips. So you click there, you go to download, and then you download the mod and you put on the folder that you previously selected. So that is it. So what mods do I have? So these are the mods that I have that are working. I'm actually thinking about deleting the other ones because they're not really working properly. There are some ones that work and I just don't like them. For example, check recent players. What is check recent players? As you see here, whenever you play a match or even when you watch a replay, I just watched a replay, you can see here a list of all the heroes that was in this match. So if I join another match or if I watch another replay, as you can see here, I'm going to watch the replay, you can see that it's going to show me all the heroes that were on the last match. This is very useful for you to remember and understand which were your teammates, which were your enemies. It does help a lot when you are trying to know your players from the last game. So as you can see here, it has me, and then it has this last guy was playing cheaper, this last guy was playing harder. Whenever the outline is green, it was an ally. Whenever the outline is red, it was an enemy. So that's a very useful quality of life mod, and I love it very much. The next one I'm going to be showing is the GPM scoreboard. What is the GPM scoreboard? So the GPM mod is not working. So what do I do? Whenever you are in game and you press X or you click this little square here, you can see the scoreboard, right? But as you can see, the GPM scoreboard, it basically shows your GPM, the team GPM, and your allies GPM. So my GPM is down here, it's 470, and as you can see here, it's exactly the GPM that I have. These are the other guys' GPMs. It actually helps quite a lot for you to understand how well your team is farmed. So why is it so loud? Let's just pause. It's very good for you to understand if you guys how well farmed your team is. So you can see the team GPM is very important for you to understand how much farm you have. And there's also your GPM and the other guys' GPMs. What is this part here? This little blue and red number, it's basically the buyback gold. So if it's plus 680, it means that Devo has the gold, the buyback gold plus 680 gold. If it's negative, you do not have the buyback gold yet. What about the lobby quick start? What are the lobby quick stat tooltips? So I'm going to show you. It's usually on the picking phase. In the picking phase, you can see here this little icon that's not usual in the game. This is an icon from the old UI, and if you hover over it, you can see the stats just like you used to see like back in the day, like a few years ago. These used to show on the old UI, and I can see the main stats, the last matches, the favorite heroes. You actually don't have to go out and click to see the stats of someone, and you can even click this button. If I click this button, I go to the stats of the person. I can just hover over it, and then I'll see all the previous matches of all my teammates, as you can see here. This is the quick stats tooltips. I love this mod as well. It's up to you if you want to try it or not. And finally, the TP information. So what is the TP information? The TP information is whenever a teammate is TPing, as we might see here, there you go. You can see which teammate is TPing, and they can also be very useful. So for example, the one time that I saw the TP information was very useful was when me and a teammate, we both TP'd to a tower, and I wanted to see who was TPing with me. Is this person going to be farming as well, or is this person going to be just going there to help or to gain some experience? Let me pause the game again. So that's why I like to see the teleport information, because if it was a farming hero, I can cancel my TP and stay in my lane. If it's a farming hero, if it's not a farming hero, I do not do that. Okay guys, so I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this going through. It was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but it is done. So whenever you want to check how it goes, or if you want to show someone how to set up mods, you can just link this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget as well, you can also ring the bell. You can basically subscribe and activate the bell notifications to get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So if you like to see the videos every day, you might enjoy that. Please give it a try. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you definitely tomorrow. Bye bye.